Hi everyone, John MacDonald here from The Good, and today we're going to talk about data-driven UX for Q4 success. So let's jump right in. Dr. Carl Blanks, the inventor of the term conversion rate optimization, once said that the average web page is designed less scientifically than the average toilet brush. See, the majority of website design and copywriting is still in the pre-scientific age. Most web designers rely on inspiration, not experimentation. And this is a problem. And that's why I started The Good over a decade ago. See, I'm on a mission. The Good's mission is to remove all of the bad online experiences until only the good remain. And that means I need you to change your websites for the better, and the outcome, I promise, will be higher conversions. Through this mission, we've been helping e-commerce brands for over 12 years, including Nike, Xerox, Adobe, The Economist, and lots more. I have heard so many times recently that traffic generation sources are hurting due to privacy changes and changes in spend. Ads cost more now than ever, especially as we're going into the crucial Q4 and holiday shopping season. Look, your brand site isn't affected by all of these latest changes. Let me tell you why. Optimizing your site can make up for a lot of the differences due to these ad traffic campaign changes. You'll need to move that data collection, though, from your ads to your own website. So stop relying on Facebook and start relying on first-party data. Aggregate data is all that is needed for success. Conversion optimization doesn't require individual data, thus privacy challenges and changes to future privacy concerns won't kill your optimization efforts overnight. This means conversion rate optimization is sustainable and will build you a resilient brand to help you get through the many challenges e-commerce retailers are facing in the upcoming Q4. It is impossible for a brand to understand what the site experience is like for a new to file customer. Why is this perspective important? Well, first, it's really hard for a brand to optimize their own website because they generally don't understand the unique perspective of the new visitor's site experience. And secondly, if a visitor can't understand the brand's website, how to navigate it, what the value propositions are, or even what the products are being sold by the brand, then they're going to bounce right away. So what can you do? Well, you can use data, and that's what we're going to talk about next. There are 4 key types of data that help you make data-backed decisions and improve your user and customer experience as you go into the holiday shopping season. You want to make sure you're collecting all of this data over this upcoming holiday season so that even if you don't have time or the resources to implement it for Q4, you will have collected massive amount of data that you could then utilize to optimize your site coming in to the new year. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. The first is analytics. You want to look at things like top sellers, seasonality, and paths through your site. And this is all in addition to the typical analytics that you would get from something like Google Analytics. Now, all of these things can be tracked in Google Analytics, but you have to make sure that you're paying attention to them. Heat maps. This is things like scroll maps, click maps, session recordings, and eye tracking. Now, you really want to make sure that you are collecting how people are engaging with your site so that you can then be reactive to that and sensitive and have empathy for the consumers. Which brings me to my next one, which is user testing. Understanding what a visitor is thinking, not just what they're doing, as I mentioned, what all of the analytics can tell us. You want to get to the why, not just the what that those quantitative data points provide. And user testing is the best way to do that. Even if you just take your laptop to a coffee shop and say, hey, I'll buy you a coffee if you walk through my website while I give you some really high level simple tasks to do. It's as easy as that if you don't want to go a really professional route. Lastly is A/B testing. Armed with data from all these other 3 data points, we can now use math to tell us how to best proceed, right? So, hey, here's my hypothesis based on this data. Oh, I think this change will perform better. Now test it and see, and let consumer actions on your site tell you what's going to perform best. Now, the ultimate goal of all of this is to make data-backed decisions. This helps you to navigate uncertainties such as these iOS updates, the upcoming Shipmageddon, if you will, and all of the things that come with holiday shopping, all with the goal of improving your conversion rates. So, what is a good conversion rate? Now, I get asked this daily, and the answer is actually pretty simple. It's one that is always improving. Focusing on incremental improvements to your conversion rate day over day, week over week, month over month will get you much further, much faster. Now, there will always be room for improvement anyways. So it's best to follow the 1% rule, which is a great model for conversion optimization. If you get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Think about that. All you need is a slight incremental improvement to really show big impact. So that means that if you get started today, you still have time to make small gains every single day on your website and take advantage of that come holiday shopping. Now, a good conversion rate is the result of a healthy customer experience, not the cause. You get a good conversion rate because you have a great consumer experience, but you don't get a great customer experience by having high conversion rates. Yes, they're tied together, but it only goes one way. Okay, let me think about this in another way then. A good conversion rate doesn't indicate that there's a healthy customer experience, right? You could just discount everything on your site to $1 and have a high conversion rate. But a healthy customer experience can improve your conversion rate. And that's where using data and really focusing on that customer experience come Q4 is going to make a big difference for you, despite all the other challenges you might have. Now, when it comes to your website, your goals and your customers' goals are aligned. You both want a conversion. Think of your site like a retail store. You wouldn't do it in a retail store. Don't do it on your website. Just because you can't see the consumer on the other side of the screen doesn't mean they're not human. Would you jump out in front of an in-store customer, forcing them to sign up for your email list? Well, that's what we do with email pop-ups. Would you rotate your products automatically from side to side, making it impossible to grab the product that they're interested in? Well, that's what we do with auto-rotating carousels. What if every time they put an item into their cart, you rushed them to the cashier? We redirect shopping cart activity every single day when people add something. These are all common challenges. Now, let's look at an example of this. Knoll makes their most popular office chair ever called the Aeron. You've probably sat in one in most offices. Now, the thing about Knoll is most folks order through a designer, and Knoll had a fairly involved checkout process with really high abandonment. Our research showed that folks really wanted to send the product to their designer, so they would get all the way to the checkout and then we're doing things like taking a screenshot. They would research on mobile and maybe wanted to pick it back up on desktop where they could have a better preview of the fabric swatches. We added a feature that allowed customers to email their shopping cart. And this is just a great example of customer experience improvement leading to more sales and things that you could implement very, very quickly before Q4 that would give you a 500% lift in conversions and a 2,000% revenue gain, like we saw with Knoll here. Small changes to the customer experience can have a profound effect. Now, I want to be clear, there's no shortcut to sustained conversion growth. Best practices are for beginners, and they're a great basis for learning, but they can't replace the value of testing. And trends, well, they don't move the needle. Strategy versus tools and individual tactics, it's not even a competition. Strategy wins every time. So some examples of things we've seen way too many brands try to apply to their site to quickly increase conversions for Q4 that really just end up hurting. Things like spin to win wheels or sales pop-ins that show, Jane in Texas bought this product recently, or negative intent shaming on pop-ups like, no, I don't like discounts. People do this all the time because they read it in a best practice article, but it does not deliver in the way they were hoping. Now, there is a reason that race horses wear blinders. Competitive research is not data. Copying from your competitors because you saw they had a spin to win or because they were doing negative intent shaming. Well, here's the reality. You don't know if they are testing and you just got opted into the test. You also don't know if their tactics are actually working for them. And your site's visitor data, it's really the only thing that matters. Competitive analysis can fuel a smart testing program, but you really should not copy blindly. Now, no one strategy will work across all sites, even in the same category. I can't tell you how many times we've worked with multiple brands. We're going to look at a footwear brand next. And, this is something they copied from a competitor. And they took it from their competitor's site blindly, and they killed their mobile conversions. They stole this mobile navigation at the bottom concept. And then we tested the navigation at the top where most people would expect it, and it dramatically outperformed their copycat approach, even though the brand they were copying it from was massively bigger. Just changing this back to what people expected gave them a 6% lift in conversions and 165% return on their investment for making this change. That's pretty good. If I could get 165% back on every test, I would definitely be spending money there. Now, customers are only at your website for two reasons: to research and then to convert. They want to research to understand if your product or service can solve their pain or need. And if they can solve that pain or need, to convert as quickly and easily as possible. Now, this is especially true during the holiday shopping season when your brand is likely competing with the likes of Amazon's quick, efficient buying and shipping processes. It's a known entity, and they have multiple options. So the best way to keep people on your site is to help solve a pain or a need as quickly as possible and then get out of the way and let them convert. So let's talk about how you might apply this to your site for the holidays. A great example here is how important it is for you to ensure that you are making it easy to do that research. As the majority of the world transitioned from work to home in 2020, a high quality office furniture like Foley's was really in demand. And specifically, their iconic Jarvis standing desk had a much longer lead time than usual. And this is something, unfortunately, still recognizable to e-commerce retailers today. As I sit here, I talk to brands every day that are now unsure when they're going to get their latest containers shipped across the country to them. And it will continue to be a challenge through the upcoming holiday shopping season. So while this presented challenges for Foley, the team knew there was also an opportunity to creatively display their in-stock products and give customers the option to shop for something new. So the key learning here, make sure you have a dialed-in product filtering experience. Our team saw lots of eye-tracking heat map engagement on filtering, so much so that our hypothesis was that it was overly confusing for visitors. This change to the filters had a dramatic impact on conversions and revenue, and it's something that is fairly simple to implement now for Q4 and see a 6% lift in conversions and a 75-to-1 return on investment. Now, when it comes to your website, your goals and your customers' goals are both aligned. Again, you both want conversions. So think about this. 100% of the time, clarity is better than cleverness. Brands want these beautiful creative site designs, but they typically waver too far from the tried and true design principles. But you can have your cake and eat it too. Start with data-driven wireframing, and then you let your design and copywriting team run wild within those guardrails. And it's really easy to ensure you're within those guardrails, again, by thinking of your site like a retail store. So going back to what we had said earlier. Now, why is this important for Q4? Because so many brands try to get clever for holiday shopping and it gets in the way of the consumers. The thing to remember here is that your marketing has already won. It's now time to serve the visitor's needs. In this holiday season, you're going to spend a ton of money to get people to your website. And once visitors have reached your site, your marketing has won. Stop marketing and start selling at that point. And to do that, you really need to serve their needs. So let's look at an example of this. How can you still meet your visitors' needs while baking your marketing messages into the middle of that shopping journey? Here was Beckett Synonym, which is a really high-end handmade shoe brand. And what we did for them was we took their marketing messaging and put it into their product grid. And this is something, again, that you could do pretty easily and quickly for yourselves and see things like a 5% lift in conversions. And again, a massive return on running this test. So it's something that I would highly recommend taking a look at as you dive in. Another great example of this is something we see all the time. Multiple messages, usually discounts in promotion bars at the top of sites. Now, we've tested dozens of different messages, and the only ones that sustainably move the needle is free shipping. So this holiday season, don't overload your promo bar with discounts or sales or even worse, multiple promotions. Instead, keep it simple and eliminate the visitor's fear that there's going to be a surprise shipping fee in checkout. This will be more sustainable than discounts that you would include in that bar. And you should also use this space to communicate shipping deadlines if there are some, given that upcoming holiday ship-again. But let's talk for a second a little bit more about discounts. Discounting is not optimization. It is margin drain. Once a brand offers a discount, the consumer will forever look at them as a discount brand. Now, there's no doubt and no argument from me that discounts will boost conversions. If you discount down enough, you can sell anything. As realtors say, every home will sell at the right price. Thus, if a brand has to discount to bring in a new to file customer, then likely they were just priced too high to begin with. My point is this: discounting isn't sustainable and it doesn't lead to customer loyalty or long-term growth. So if you really want to have a sustainable outcome from Q4 and holiday shopping, then you really want to be focusing on how to do offers, not discounts. So let's take a look at this. There is a big difference between a discount and an offer. In this example with Laird Superfoods, we did a limited time offer of a free gift with purchase. And there are so many options besides a dollar or a percentage off discount. Gift with purchase, as we see here. Buy one, get one. Loyalty programs, membership programs, scarcity, social influence, exclusivity, guarantees, free shipping, urgency. I could go on. So this holiday season, I implore you to not hit the easy button. Instead, think offer instead of discount. Now remember, the majority of website design and copywriting is still in the pre-scientific age. But you can break that mold and not be in the majority. And If you do this properly, you will have an outstanding Q4 despite all of the challenges being thrown at you right now. So where do we go from here? Couple of options for you. You could download an ebook and use this coupon to get a free ebook for anybody who sees this. You can sign up for the Goods email insights and get tips throughout the entire Q4 session and beyond about how to optimize better and improve your customer and user experience using data. Or if you have questions about anything I said, email me directly. My email is there on the screen. I try to read and respond to every single email that comes in. So feel free to reach out. Thank you for your time, and I will talk to you soon.